Yeah, it's me, Matt. I'm here in Vegas, always in Vegas. Um, Wanted to do a video about some of the better bets that you can make in harness racing, um, along with free programs. And you can't go wrong with free. But in harness racing, one of the problems uh, is the pools are just so small, with the exception of Mohawk. And the Meadowlands used to always be an exception, but now sometimes in the wintertime the pools are not quite what they used to be. But Meadowlands and Mohawk, some of these tracks are just so small. In terms of, and when I say small, I'm talking a $500,000 total night handle. And when you start to make these bets, you think, I was just watching a race, the first race today. What is today? The 4th? The first race was a trotting, claiming, $25,000 claiming race at Dover Downs. I figured I think it was a 3-horse, Zappa, something. That horse would be the favorite. Well, with just about a minute and a half to go, the favorite was the 1-horse, which I thought might be the second choice in the wagering. And it was like 5-2 on the horse that I thought would be the favorite. And then right before the race starts, he's hammered down to 6-5. But the thing is, it doesn't take much money to hammer a horse down from 5-2 to 6-5. And that's the problem. It's hard to get an idea of what the odds are going to be right at post time, and the morning lines at these tracks are just all over the place. There's no consistency to them, I don't think. Even at Mohawk, which is, the pools aren't as volatile, but the morning line, I don't know who's making the morning line at Mohawk, but I'm not impressed. So the thing is that the pools are they're just so small, and so if you really want to make any money, you could only bet so much to win. You can try to make some money in exactas, and certainly I can make more money in exactas than I can in the win pool, because even if you have this great bet, how much are you going to be able to bet on the horse? $40, $50. So I think the solution to making your best bet, to really getting the big scores, are with pick 4s, pick 5s. If you're so inclined, the high 5s, I guess it's a pentafecta, the top 5 finishers. But even then, the pools, there's not enough money being bet into this type of an exotic wager. But two things you need to keep in mind. One, there are carryovers, and so you got to wait for the carryover. And just because there is a carryover, it may not be big enough to make a bet. And even when there is a big carryover, maybe you figure in a pick 4 you got 2 heavy favorites, then a mild favorite, and a second choice that figure to come in. And so it's going to pay $15 or something ridiculous. But still, at some point, that's where you want to make your bet, the carryovers. The other way to make the bet is to look for what the United States Trotting Association calls their strategic wagering program, which is where they guarantee minimum pools. So they'll have, if you're not familiar, I'll explain it. If there's a pick 4 with a $10,000 guaranteed minimum pool, that means that will be the smallest pool that the payoff will be calculated from. If there's only $6,500 bet in the pick 4, it becomes 10 grand. More often than not, when you have the guaranteed pools, the pools will be bigger than that, almost always. And some of these guaranteed pools are not necessarily small. I mean, 10,000, that's like Northfield maybe, but occasionally Meadowlands will have a 50,000 guaranteed pool. you got to jump on these type of wagers. So I just wanted to mention that. There's a link below if you want to see to the United States Trotting Association's website. They got the strategic wagering calendar of events, supposedly, where they list all the dates and the track and what the wager will be. So you can, mark that on your calendar, so to speak. And different tracks now. Excuse me, I gotta reposition myself here. Bad chair. Yeah, and unfortunately, I don't know how it is in the rest of outside of Vegas, but here I can only bet on certain tracks. Fortunately or unfortunately, I do get Northfield, and that's a common track to have a guaranteed minimum pool. Meadowlands, Yonkers every now and then, some Cal Expo. The Meadows, quite frequently the Meadows, but I don't get to bet on the Meadows. So all I can tell you is you can keep your eye on these pools, and if it's something that it's a track that you go to or you can bet on off track, that's what I think. That's the time to make a bet and maybe make some good money. Other than that, you're looking at exactas, maybe some trifectas now and then, where you're going to hit the big score. Most people want to hit a big payoff. I certainly do. There's not a lot of options with harness. Still, I'm not real big on the high five bet, but maybe you are, and there's some good opportunities. Probably would leave that bet alone until there's a nice carryover or the minimum pool guaranteed. Also, they have the USTA. They have free programs available for these wagers. I have a link. I'll put a link below. You can. Excuse me. They always have TrackMaster, and they usually have the daily racing form harness past performances too. Some people like that. I prefer TrackMaster, but I can use the daily racing form harness past performances also. So. There is a blog I like to go to. It's not my blog, but it has both the carryovers, not just for harness, but thoroughbred also. It's all mixed together. And also on that same blog, they have free programs, the links to all the racetracks that have free programs. Mostly it's just harness. Thoroughbred, they don't like giving out that stuff, but it's different. Thoroughbred, you've got the daily racing form, whereas with harness, you have the program has the past performances in it. That's always been the tradition there. So you can download programs for not just if you're just interested in hitting the big one. If you're going to do, like, say, the Meadowlands, you can get the TrackMaster past performances just for the guaranteed pick 4, but you can also get the whole. Meadowlands always has free programs. You can get the whole program if you want. But this blog I have a link to. I don't know who runs it, anything about them, but they have the carryovers and they have free past performances, which is important because you might be wanting to take a shot at a carryover. Maybe it's a pick 5 carryover. It's been going on for a while. You can get the free past performance for the whole program. The USTA only gives out free past performances for their strategic wagering guaranteed pool bets. But still, it's a good blog. You can pay attention to the carryovers. See what you're interested in. You can get free past performances for most harness tracks, and then of course you can take a look at the guaranteed pools if that's what you're interested in, and going for just that one bet that one evening. I like to do that. I tend to go for that with Northfield. I didn't get my bet off the other night, but I think I would have had the pick 4. Didn't pay much. It's like $300, but Still, the guaranteed pools often make the wager worth it. So, to summarize, I got a link to the blog where you can get all the information you want for carryovers. They also got free programs there, and I also have a link to the free programs for the USTA Strategic Wagering Guaranteed Pools, along with their calendar of events. Not really a calendar, but a listing of the dates, upcoming guaranteed pools for the different tracks and the bets. I think this is important, again, because the pools for harness racing are small, and if you want to hit big, you can maybe hit the big exacta for $4 and hit a couple $100 exacta. I've done that before, but if you want that really big payoff, that's what you really have to go for. The carryovers and the guaranteed pools for usually pick 4, pick 5s, or the high 5s. Often a way to go for some people. I have a hard time doing the high 5s myself, but anyway. That's all I got to say about that. I'm out of here.